بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلية إمام الكاظم، أقسام الديوانية، المرحلة الرابعة، قسم اللغة الإنجليزية، تدريسي الأستاذ محمد حسين بدري. بالبداية أحب أبارك لكم شهر رمضان مبارك، نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يقبل جميع أعمالكم، آمين يا رب العالمين. Today I'm going to talk about section 7.52 WH questions. Okay, we are familiar, all of us are familiar with WH questions. Usually when we speak English, we use WH questions. We use different kind of questions, and one of them, the kind is WH questions. Okay, so usually how WH questions are formed, they are formed by Q words. Okay, here we have some examples: who, whom, whose, what, which, when, where, how, or why. And here we have, as a rule, we have a Q element and a Q word. Q element, close element, sometimes close element containing the Q words generally comes first in the sentence, and the Q word itself takes first position in the Q element. Q element as a whole sentence, and a Q word as a word, as who, as whom, as whose, as what. Okay. Here we have exception to the second principle. This second principle, we have what? Exception. When the Q word occurs in a propositional complement. Okay, propositional. You see here this example. Here we have two examples. These two examples, we are going to talk about them. Okay, the explanation here about these two examples. Here English provides a choice between two constructions. So here we have what? Two constructions. One formal, this one formal. Okay, see here between brackets. And the second one is less, is what? Informal. Okay, informal style, this is number one. Informal style, the preposition precedes the complement. You see here, preposition at the beginning of a sentence. Whereas in colloquial style, colloquial means informal style, the complement where comes first, and the preposition retains the position it has in a declarative sentence here at the end, like in declarative sentence. Okay, so this is just little difference. On what did you base your prediction? Or you can say, what did you base your prediction on? We may perhaps express this difference more neatly by saying that colloquial English insists that Q word comes first. This is a Q word. Okay, come first. This is colloquial. Q word comes first. While formal English insists that Q element as an element, here what WH as an element comes where as what comes first at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, this is beginning, middle, and end, so comes here at the beginning. But as a Q, as a word, no, it does not come at the beginning. Okay, formal style, Q word, no, not at the beginning, but as Q element, yes, comes first. Okay, this is simple difference, not important. This is important here. The following sentences in which the Q element operates in various clause functions. What are the functions of WH questions? So when you say, who opened my letter? Who opened my letter? Q element is what? It's about subject. Who opened my letter? Here, who, for what? What refers to subject. Ali opened my letter. Okay, so Ali is what? Subject. Which books have you lent him? So Q element here what? Direct. Okay, for example, I have lent him political books, for example, comic books. See here, direct. Whose beautiful antiquities are these? So here, complement, subject complement, whose. And you can say these beautiful antiquities are, you see here, complement, are Ahmed's, for example. And here, how wide did they make the bookcase? Q element here, object complement. When will you come back? Adverb of time. A time means adverb of time. Where shall I put the glasses? Okay, place. Okay, you can say you should put them, or should put the glasses on the table. Why means what? Reason, and verb of reason. Why are these always complaining? Because. How did you mend it? Process. Okay, adverb of process. How much does he care? Okay, intensifying. How much does he care? He cares too much. How long have you been waiting? Duration. Time. How often do you visit in New York? Frequency. How often? For example, I visit New York every year. As the examples indicate, falling intonation here, not rising. Okay. So with WH questions we have, you can see here what falling intonation, not rising. With yes no questions we have rising, and with declarative questions we have rising. You are Ahmed, you see here rising. You are Ali, okay. You understand, so we have here rising. But with WH questions we have falling intonation, falling. How long have you been waiting? How often do you visit in New York? See? How much does he care? Not how much does he care? No, how much does he care? And we are familiar with this because we usually, when we speak English, we use these kinds of questions and they are very clear. We see above that normal statement order of elements is upset in WH questions not only by the initial placing of the Q element. This is the explanation about WH questions, how we have the rule of inversion. See here, of course we put what auxiliaries, then we put verb. This is explanation. Okay, subject operator inversion is the same in its application to WH questions. See, so here we have operator here, subject operator inversion. We put inversion here, operator subject. When we make questions, the same like with WH questions. When you ask, for example, do you visit in New York? We have inversion here. And when you put WH questions, the inversion is still there, the same. Okay, as in its application to yes no question. Okay, so the same. And also if there is no here, if there is no auxiliary, with you can use do, and it's very easy, you know about it. You have here note, much more details. You can read it for benefit. Alternative questions. Okay, so we finish with WH questions, and here we have section 7.54 alternative questions. Here we have two types of alternative questions. One, resembling yes no question, and the second, WH question. You see here two types of questions, resembling yes no question, and the second, WH question. 1, 2. Would you like chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? You see here intonation, chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. Which ice cream would you like? Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? You see here? The first type differs from yes no question only in intonation. Only. And you know that. Instead of the final rising tone we said that with yes no question, what final element is what is rising. It has rising tone. Okay, do you play football? Do you play football? Rising. Here we have what? We have separate here, separate nuclear, separate. On chocolate, on vanilla, okay, on each element rising. And the last element, we have what? We have falling. See here? For each alternative, rise occurs on each item in the list, except the last, which there is a fall indicating the list is complete. Okay, and it's very important. If you still, I mean, if you stick on rising intonation, it means what? The sentence or the question has no end, is endless. For example, would you like chocolate, vanilla, ice cream, tea, coffee? Okay, you see? Rising. If you want to close the question, just put what? Falling intonation on the final element. Or cappuccino. You see here? This is explanation for this kind of a question. The difference of intonation between alternative and yes no question is important. Why is important here? This is very important note. This note is important. The difference of intonation between alternative and yes no question is important. How? In that ignoring it, if you ignore intonation, okay, can lead to misunderstanding. This is very important note. There will be misunderstanding sometimes because there is similarity between alternative and yes no question. If you ignore intonation, there will be misunderstanding. For example, of course in the replies here, as the contrast, you can see the contrast in the replies. The first one is alternative. The second one, yes, no. Alternative and yes, no. They are similar, but just in the intonation. Shall we go by bus or train? Alternative here. Shall we go by bus or train? So you can say by bus or by train. You see, rising on bus and train, we have what? Falling. We talked about this point. We said each element what? Has rising intonation, just the final one with falling. So shall we go by bus or train? The answer is what? By bus. But with yes no question here, shall we go by bus or train? Shall we go by bus or train? You see here, we have rising on the word train, but the first one falling. So the answer no. Let's take the car. Because it is yes no question, you can say yes. Okay, or you can say no. No, let's take the car. No, let's take the car. Shall we go by bus or train? No, let's take the car. You see here? So sometimes it is important, the intonation is important to distinguish between alternative and yes no question, because if you ignore it, there will be misunderstanding. I hope the idea is clear. The second type of alternative, this is the type what? Yes no question, the similarities. Now, at the beginning we said what? The resemblance between yes no question and alternative question. And the second, here we have the second type, two types. The second type is what? Is really a compound of two separate questions. WH question followed by elliptical alternative. Okay, similar. WH questions followed by elliptical from ellipses. Option. Okay. Thus, number two, this sentence number two, which ice cream would you like, can be taken or might be taken as a reduced version. Reduced. So what is the origin of this sentence? The whole sentence without reduction. If we want the sentence without reduction, okay, without any kind of deletion or omission, we will see this sentence. Which ice cream would you like? Which you like? Chocolate? Okay, would you like chocolate? Sorry. Which ice cream would you like? Would you like chocolate? Would you like vanilla? Would you like strawberry? As if in this way. So we have reduction. Okay, and it's very important. In English, we try to reduce our speech, try to avoid repetition. Positive yes no question can be converted into alternative question. This is what yes no question can be what? Converted, can be changed into an alternative questions by adding or not. Okay? Or matching negative clause. So when you say, are you coming? This is yes no question. Are you coming? Is it raining? Are you coming? This is what you can say. Yes, I'm coming. No, I'm not coming. This is yes no question. And we talked about it. We can make it alternative. Yes, just add this. Are you coming or not? So it's alternative. Two options here. Are you coming or aren't you? Or aren't you coming? Here between the brackets it means optional. You see here? Okay. Not important this note, but this note is important, very important. The structure of alternative yes no question follows the pattern of clausal coordination. Okay? The structure of alternative yes no question. Alternative yes no question. We said that we have two types: alternative yes no questions and alternative WH questions. So, alternative yes no questions, which patterns follows? Patterns of clausal coordination. You know, coordination means what? Coordinated between or and. Okay, that's what does it mean? This is the meaning of pattern of clausal coordination. Two or more separate questions are collapsed. They are collapsed together. Yeah, they are mixed together. Okay. Wherever convenient by ellipses. This is very important note. Okay. The structure of alternative yes no question follows the pattern of clausal coordination. How? When we have two or more separate questions are collapsed together by ellipses. For example, where is here very important note, wherever convenient, sometimes not convenient, and we will talk about it. For example, this is, did Italy win the World Cup or Brazil? You see here, this is what? Alternative yes no questions, ellipses. Before ellipses, this is the whole sentence. Okay, the whole sentence. The whole sentence, did Italy win the World Cup or did Brazil win the World Cup? So, by using here coordination, two or more separate are collapsed. Collapse them, delete, did, delete all. We can say what instead here? You see, elliptical part. Did Italy or Brazil win the World Cup? Did Italy win the World Cup or Brazil? Did Italy or Brazil win the World Cup? Here you have more than one option. Okay, the origin sentence before ellipsis, what? This, did Italy win the World Cup or did Brazil win the World Cup? If we apply ellipsis process, if we apply the pattern of clausal coordination, we will have this sentence: did Italy win the World Cup or Brazil? Or did Italy or Brazil win the World Cup? The same is here. Are you coming? Are you or aren't you coming? Are you coming or not? But the origin what is this? Are you coming or aren't you coming? Delete coming, we don't need, because it's the same structure. Why here we delete? Some, maybe one of the students asks here question, said why we delete this? We delete them, why? Because they are the same. Did Italy win the World Cup or did Brazil win the World Cup? So because they are the same, we don't need to repeat. But here and here the same. Are you coming or aren't you coming? Here because they are the same, we don't need what to repeat. So we what we delete. We apply ellipses. But here what? No. When there is no repeated structure, because the structure here is what? Not repeated. It's not repeated here. No ellipsis is possible. Ellipsis here is what? Impossible. Why? Because the structures here what? Different. When, for example, you say, is it raining or has it stopped? Are they the same here or different? Yes, they are different. So We cannot apply what? Yeah, we cannot apply this pattern of causal coordination. You see? Why? Because these two structures are different. When can we apply? Yes, we can apply if we say, is it raining or not? Is it raining or not? Okay. Yani, is it raining or isn't? Is not raining? Okay, you can put it in this way. So is it raining or not? We delete. Has it stopped or not? We can, but both together we cannot apply this, let us say this rule, because what it is, or these two different structures. I hope the idea is clear, because I focus on this word because it's very important. Here we have minor types of questions. They are minor, they are important here. Okay, they are in need of little attention. Exclamatory question. Exclamatory question. The exclamatory question is a question in form, but it's functionally like an exclamation. Question in form, it's a question. Okay, but the function is what? Like exclamation. The most characteristic type is a negative yes/no question with a falling instead of rising intonation. Auto. Okay, hasn't she grown? Hasn't she grown? You see, this is the character. We have here two types. The most characteristic type is what? Negative yes/no question with falling. Hasn't she grown? From its meaning, what do you expect when you say hasn't she growing? Hasn't she growing? Wasn't it a marvelous concert? Wasn't it a marvelous concert? What does it mean here? Or what do they mean, these two sentences? They invite the listener's agreement to something on which the speaker has strongly positive feelings. You see? So here you have what? Positive feeling. Hasn't she grown? Wasn't it a marvelous concert? So the speaker here what? Invites us to agree with him. Okay? So this is number one, negative yes/no question. So here it's negative. We have not. Easy, you know. And positive yes/no question, also with falling tone. So both of them with falling tone, but informal. This informal way of expressing a strong positive conviction. Okay, when you are convinced, strong positive conviction, strong positive conviction. We use this kind. Positive. Am I hungry? Okay. Did he look annoyed? Has she grown? Okay. Exclamation here. Am I hungry? Did he look annoyed? Has she grown? You see here? So this is what? Positive yes/no question to express what? A strong positive conviction. Here I said both. You see here both operator and subject. Auxiliary here operator. What? Receive emphatic stress. That's why I said what? Am I hungry? Did he look annoyed? Has she grown? You see here, sorry. Focus on the elements, because it is exclamation. Second minor type, rhetorical question. The rhetorical question is one which functions as a forceful statement. Okay, forceful function what? As a forceful statement. More precisely, a positive rhetorical question is like a strong negative assertion. It means the opposite here. While a negative question is like a strong positive one, the opposite. You see here? Positive rhetorical question is like strong negative assertion. Strong negative assertion, strong negative statement. While negative question, when the question is negative, is what? Like what? Strong positive assertion. Let's explain with example. Here, is there a reason for despair? Here, what? This is rhetorical question, positive. We don't have not here. Is there a reason for despair? Is there a reason for despair? This is what? Positive question. The meaning of this, as we say here, we said positive, the meaning is what? Negative. Surely there, what? That's not a reason. Is there a reason? Is there a justification for leaving him? To put it with this example, is there a reason for leaving me? What does it mean? It means surely there is no reason. Surely there is no justification. You see here? Positive, negative. So it is positive. The question is positive, but the meaning is what? Negative. Surely there is no reason. Surely there is no justification. Okay. Another example. Can anyone doubt the wisdom of this action? Can anyone doubt the wisdom of the prophet? Okay. Can anyone doubt the wisdom of the prophet? Surely no one. No one can doubt. Oh, can't doubt, sorry. You see here? Second, with negative. The question is negative here. Negative rhetorical question. Is no one going to defend me? Okay. Is no one. And you know, with rhetorical questions, question that is not in need of what? Of an answer. It is clear from the sentence, from the question. The meaning is clear. When you say, is no one going to defend me? It means what? This is the question is negative, but the meaning is what? Positive. Surely someone is going to defend me. Is no one going to defend me? Okay. Is no one going to defend me? Surely someone is going to defend me. These are two types. Unlike exclamatory questions, these rhetorical questions usually have the normal rising. They have rising intonation. Okay. They have rising. Here we have what? Rising intonation. Obvious, no question. We have another type of rhetorical, which is what? Rhetorical WH question. Rhetorical WH question, which is equivalent to statement. Equivalent means similar to a statement in which the Q element is replaced by a negative element. Okay? The same. And the intonation here is what? Rise, fall. Okay? Here it means in which this Q element, remember, who, Q element, as a whole sentence, Q word, who, is replaced by negative element. Who knows? Change who, put negative here, nobody knows. You see? That's enough. So, when you say, who knows? Who knows? Knows. Rising, falling. Who knows? Who knows? It means what? Nobody knows. Let's do this. Who knows? Let's do this. Who knows? It means what? It means nobody, no one knows. Okay? So it is what? Question. It has negative element. Okay? Negative element. Meaning is negative. What difference does it make? What difference? Okay? What difference? What difference does it make? It means what? It means it makes no difference. When you say, for example, this government or the government before this or what is coming, what difference does it make? What difference? It means what? It makes no difference. It means that they are all the same. So this is what? Rhetorical question. And as I said, it is the same, but we have rise, fall, tone. I hope the idea is clear. And if you have any question or any comment, don't be hesitant. You can ask and discuss any point. Thank you so much. See you next course.